on. Our next keynote speaker is Mr. Avinash Ananda, co-creator at Global Academy of MetaMind Alignment, who would like to speak about a very interesting topic, happiness-centric leadership in the new normal based on meta-alignment. He's the leadership and happiness guru, so I welcome him on the stage.
Thank you,
Avinash Ananda
Sadaf.
speaks on the mindsets and skill sets of next level leadership through a robust and practical MetaMind alignment framework, which elaborates the first, best, and next practices of the most highly impactful leaders in the new normal. So I would leave the stage to Avinash now.
Sadaf, thank you so much. Thank you. Sadaf has introduced me. Most people switch off when somebody introduces somebody else because they're going to say something nice about them anyway. So I'm sure she said something nice about me. I couldn't hear much of what she said. But happiness, I heard. Happiness is one of my favorite subjects. And the topic is happiness-centric leadership. Now, how does happiness and leadership come together? They seem to be like two words that belong to different realms. What I'm going to do is to share with you 6 points. One central message, four key messages, and one summary. If that's okay with you, I'll move really, really fast. And if I'm too fast, please forgive me. Watch the video again. The central message. The central message is this: happiness is essential to leadership. See, most people in organizations today are sad. Sad is SAD, stressed, anxious, and D is disengaged. Stress costs a lot of money for organizations and businesses. Anxiousness has increased even more in the new so-called new normal. With the pandemic, anxiousness, not knowing what's going to happen in the future, that's reached the highest level ever. So mental wellness and all of these things are being brought about in organizations even more than before. Disengagement. Disengagement costs organizations trillions and trillions of dollars every year, and even more so now. Uh, how do we make people from sad to happy? So what I'm saying is just this: it's a concept, and it's very, very important that leaders today have to focus on happiness. There is tremendous research that is done in the field of positive psychology, which says that happiness is directly proportional to productivity. The more happy you are, this positive energy will propel you towards doing even better in the workplace. So that's the first message. Happiness is essential for leadership, and all leadership must include happiness as part of their worldview or in their radar. That's message number one. Now, let's go to the next four key messages. The four key messages are about the mind. See, a leader must lead his own mind. Hopefully, every leader has a mind. And every leader, whoever the leader is leading, all those are also different minds. So you have a leader with a mind leading others with a mind. So let's take the acronym MIND for the next four key points. M is meaning. I is insight. N is nowness. And D is decisions. Let's go over each one of these four. Let's take the first one, meaning. Now, I was told by White Page International, a fantastic White Page Leadership Conclave 2021. Must give you a very, very big hand. You guys have done a great job in organizing it. Virtual event. I know you are fantastic at the real events, which you've done all over the world, but now in the virtual event also, you've done great. So I'm the last speaker is what I was told. After this, there are going to be some more awards and ceremonies, and thank you for all the awards. So happy to be here with all of you who are award winners too. Now, if I look at myself as the last speaker, I could look at myself as grand finale, wow, or I could look at myself as last speaker. It's up to me. So here's what I'm saying: the mind is a meaning-making machine. It's not what happens to us, but it is our interpretation of what happens to us that determines our response to every situation. So here I'm talking about meaning. If you change the meaning, you will change the result. When you change the way you see things, the things you see will change. So why don't we take that as an action point? And why don't we actually change the meaning to something positive? See, in this pandemic, positive has become a bad word. If you say, what was the test result? Was it positive? Oh, that's bad. Huh? So, but here I'm talking about, let's revisit the basics. And I'm saying, the story, the Red Indian story, that if you, the chief told his son, you have two wolves, imaginary, one wolf here, one wolf here, and one wolf tells you lots of positive things, one wolf tells you lots of negative things. Now, why they said wolf, I don't know, maybe because Red Indian story. So the child asks the chief, he says that, but which one wins? Is the one telling you negative things winning, or the one telling you positive things winning? He says the one you feed the most. So it is your choice which one to feed. There is misinformation, there is no information, there are beliefs, there are conflicting beliefs, there's conflicting information. Which one do you choose? Choose the belief that empowers you. Choose the information that empowers you. And if you do that, all I'm recommending is that see the positives in situation. The mind automatically goes towards the negative, and that's the way the mind has been programmed over the years. Evolutionary training has done this to us, that we look for danger first, we magnify that danger. So the mind is like velcro, velcro, it sticks. It's like velcro for negativity, it's like satin, slips away for positivity. So anyone does something positive, it slips away, doesn't remain in the memory. Anyone does one thing negative and it sticks to the memory. Can we train our brain to reverse this trend and become positive, become velcro for positive, and become like satin for negativity? That would be the first thing I'm saying. When you don't know what the future will be, and we don't know this reality, when we don't know, then please expect the best. At least that positive expectancy will give you the energy to KO, keep on keeping on. And that's what's needed. Sometimes just staying in the game is what's needed. Don't start a project with negativity. Start a project saying, yes, there's possibility that this will be great. Let's give it our best. This is a time to revisit this. So meaning, that is M. I is about insight. Meaning is good, but we must have an insight into our own psychology and other people's psychology, and we must have an insight into reality. And the best way to have an insight into others is to have an insight into yourself. But remember that other people may be operating from a different belief system than your own. Just because you like talking a lot to people, it doesn't mean that they like listening to you. Okay? Just because you like keeping quiet all the time doesn't mean that they don't want you to talk. All I'm saying is this, that find out what motivates people and use that to motivate them. So the message here is align your understanding with reality. If you continue to do what you've always done, you'll continue to get what you've always got. What kind of leader are you? Are you a situational leader? Are you a charismatic leader? Are you a quiet leader? Come on, it doesn't matter. What matters is that you are a leader who does what is required with that particular person, with that particular goal to get the job done. Don't label yourself like an introvert, because sometimes you will have to be an extrovert. Don't label yourself like an extrovert, because sometimes you will have to be an introvert. You have to stretch and do what is required to do. Keyword is adapt. Okay. There was and don't operate with just a paradigm which is in your mind that this is the way the world should work, so it should work that way. There were these Boy Scouts, they came back and the chief asked them, what was the good deed you did? So one guy said, I helped an old man cross the road. He asked the second boy said, I helped an old man cross the road. Third boy said, I helped fourth guy also said, I helped an old man cross the road. He said, what is this? Are you guys copying each other? He said, it was the same old man. He said, it took four of you to make one old man cross the road. He said, yeah, he didn't want to cross the road. Right? So find out what people want and give them what they want instead of working with some philosophy of your own, because life is changing very fast. That is insight. I. N is about nowness. Can we be in the moment? Can we slow down? It's not always about hyperspeed. Okay? Can we be mindful? Which is be present. Beautiful sentence. An addiction to distraction is the enemy of execution. And today we have everything distracting us. We have a deluge of information, Niagara of information all the time. The mind is never in one place. But we have the ability to focus. Can we focus on the present moment? And can we focus on the present moment, which may be different from the past moment? There were these two handsome young Zen monks who were walking across on the way to the monastery. They were going to pass a stream, and there was this beautiful girl who wanted to cross the stream. One of the Zen monks helped her across the stream. She said, "Thank you very much." Then these two Zen monks walked on their way to the monastery. It took them 45 minutes. After 45 minutes, the other monk told him, "Hey, we are Buddhist monks." He said, "Yeah, I know. We are not supposed to touch a girl." He said, "Yeah, I know. But you carried that girl, put her across the stream." He said, "Listen, I carried her, I put her across the stream, and I left her there. You have been carrying her in your mind for 45 minutes up to the monastery." How many things are we holding on to our head which were valid at that time? Today they're no longer relevant. Move on. Be in the now. Okay. Helps tremendously. Vipassana, mindfulness revolution happening in the West. All of this is about being present. The more you are in the present moment, the less the stress can, or the overload of information can bother you. Okay. And we do D, which is decisions. I suggest you look up behavioral economics, which talks about cognitive biases. The mind is quite messed up because it makes decisions based on certain generalizations and certain patterns which are not aligned with reality. Okay. So, if we can work with objectivity rather than biases, it will help us to make better happiness-centric choices. There was this man was complaining to his friend in a bar. And he said, I mean, while they were in a bar, he was complaining. I don't know why they do that. Huh? And he was complaining. He was telling him, my life is lousy. My wife is lousy. My children are lousy. My work is lousy. My boss is lousy. And I have to walk to work 10 kilometers a day and walk back 10 kilometers a day. And to top it all, no, my shoes are 2 sizes small and they're killing me. No. So he said, listen, the rest maybe you cannot change, but at least change your shoe size. He said, you are not my friend. He said, why you say that? He says, do you know that the only happiness I get is when I take off my shoes in the night? My feet feel so good without the shoes. But you want to take that happiness away from me? Huh? So people are strange. They want to hold on to little miseries because they can't solve the bigger ones. I'm suggesting just this. Between stimulus and response, there is a pause. In that pause, decisions are made, and decisions determine destiny. So all I'm saying is this: when there is a reaction, don't react, respond. How do you respond? Pause. Consider the options and make as objective and logical a decision as possible. Just to end right now, the last point that I want to share with you, if you remember, the first point was happiness is connected with leadership. Leaders have to include happiness. Become happiness-centric leader. The next 4 points were: M is meaning, where I told you that you need to make the meaning positive. If you don't know what's going to happen, expect the best. I is insight, where I say please align your understanding with reality. Test it a little bit. Okay. N is nowness. Be in the now, be present, slow down sometimes. D is about decision. Pause, make the right decision, and then act. Don't just react out of pattern. Last part I want to share with you is this. There were some monks. I don't know why I'm talking about Buddhism today, but there were some monks, Buddhist monks, and one of the monks looked at the tree, and he said that, oh, the leaves are moving. The other monk, who was a little higher monk, senior monk, he said, no, the wind is moving. He's going deeper. The other monk, who was a little more senior monk, he said, your mind is moving. He's going right to the cause. Okay. And the monk who had just woken up, he was sitting on the top floor. He said, hey, you guys, your tongues are moving, because we do in conferences a lot of talking. Where's the action? Today, leadership requires action. It requires execution, because that's how real credibility is built. So these are the 6 points I'd like to share with you on happiness-centric leadership in the new normal. Thank you very, very much. Thanks a lot. White Page International, congratulations on a fantastic conclave. I'm done. Salman, I cannot hear you, but you must be saying something nice.
Ananda, we couldn't help but take some notes for our own happiness.
Yeah,
I was
fantastic.
noting down.
Very good. Act on it also. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye bye.